Have you ever locked eyes with someone and felt, deep in your soul, that they were meant to be in your life, not just a passing spark, but a connection so powerful it feels like the universe itself brought you together? Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, believed these moments aren't random, they're signs of synchronicity, where your inner world aligns with the world around you, whether it's a romantic partner, a soulmate friend, or a mentor who changes your life. Carl Jung's wisdom reveals why you know when someone is truly meant for you. In this video, we'll uncover 5 transformative signs, grounded in Carl Jung's psychology, to help you recognize these connections and attract relationships that honor your authentic self. You'll learn how synchronicity signals a destined meeting, how your Anima or Animus draws you to the right person, and how trusting your intuition can guide you to true connection, all while embarking on Carl Jung's journey of individuation to become who you're meant to be. By the end, you'll have practical tools to spot the people who uplift you and let go of those who don't, ready to discover why you feel that unshakable knowing when the right person enters your life. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's dive into Carl Jung's secrets to finding true connection. Stay with us. This is going to change how you see love, friendship, and destiny. Have you ever met someone at just the right moment, and it felt like the stars aligned to bring you together? Maybe it was a stranger who said exactly what you needed to hear, or a friend who appeared when you were at your lowest. Carl Jung called these moments synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that feel too perfect to be random. These are the universe's way of signaling that someone is meant to play a significant role in your life, whether for a season or a lifetime. In this chapter, we'll explore Carl Jung's concept of synchronicity, why it feels so profound when you just know someone is right for you, and how to recognize these cosmic connections. Carl Jung defined synchronicity as the occurrence of 2 or more events that are meaningfully related but not causally connected, like meeting someone who shares an uncanny connection to your life at the exact moment you need them. Unlike random chance, synchronicity bridges your inner world, your unconscious thoughts, desires, or struggles with the external world, creating a sense of destiny. For Carl Jung, these moments are guided by the unconscious, often tied to your journey of individuation, becoming your true self. When you meet someone and feel that unshakable knowing, it's often because their presence resonates with something deep within you, like a piece of your soul recognizing its counterpart. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet Lena, a 27-year-old writer who felt lost after a career setback. She'd been struggling with self-doubt, questioning whether she should keep pursuing her passion for writing. One rainy afternoon, she attended a local writing workshop, feeling reluctant but curious. There, she met Emma, another writer who, within minutes of talking, shared that she'd overcome similar doubts after a mentor's advice changed her perspective. As they spoke, Lena learned they'd grown up in the same small town, loved the same obscure poet, and even had the same favorite coffee shop. The coincidences felt too precise to be random. Emma's encouragement inspired Lena to keep writing, and their friendship became a turning point in her career. Lena later reflected, "It felt like the universe sent Emma to me when I needed her most." This is synchronicity at work. Carl Jung believed these moments aren't just happy accidents, they're the unconscious orchestrating events to guide you toward growth. When you meet someone who feels meant for you, it's often because they mirror something in your inner world, like a need for healing, inspiration, or connection. But synchronicity isn't always about romance. It could be a mentor who appears when you're ready to learn, a friend who helps you through grief, or even a stranger whose words shift your perspective. The key is recognizing these moments by tuning into your intuition and noticing the patterns. So, how can you spot synchronicity in your own life? It starts with awareness. Carl Jung taught that the unconscious communicates through symbols, dreams, and meaningful coincidences. When you feel an inexplicable pull towards someone, it's a signal to pay attention. Are there repeated patterns like meeting them at a pivotal moment or discovering shared experiences? Do their words or presence feel like they're answering a question you've been carrying in your heart? These are the universe's nudges, guiding you toward people who align with your path. Here's a practical technique to help you recognize synchronicity. The Synchronicity Journal. The next time you feel a deep connection with someone or notice a coincidence that feels meaningful, follow these 3 steps. Record the moment. Write down what happened. Who did you meet? What was the context? Note any details that feel significant, like shared interests or timing. Reflect on the meaning. Ask yourself, why does this feel important? Does it connect to something I'm struggling with or seeking? Look for links to your inner world, your emotions, dreams, or goals. Trust your intuition. Rate how strongly you feel this connection is meaningful, 1 to 10. If it feels profound, explore it further by engaging with the person or reflecting on their impact. Let's see this in another scenario. Imagine you're at a bookstore, feeling lonely after a breakup. You randomly pick up a book, and a stranger nearby comments, "That's my favorite book. It helped me through a tough time." You start talking and discover you both lost someone close to you recently. The conversation feels effortless, like you've known them forever. Using the Synchronicity Journal, you'd write, "Met a stranger at the bookstore. We bonded over a book and shared grief. It felt like a sign." Reflecting, you realize this meeting reminded you that you're not alone in your pain. Your intuition rates it an 8/10, prompting you to exchange contacts and build a friendship. This is synchronicity guiding you toward connection. Carl Jung emphasized that synchronicity often happens when you're open to it, when you're in tune with your inner self and willing to see beyond logic. But it's not about chasing these moments or forcing connections. It's about staying present and trusting the signs. As Carl Jung wrote, "Synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. Not every meaningful connection is meant to last forever. Some people enter your life to teach you a lesson, spark growth, or guide you toward your next step. The key is to honor these moments without clinging to expectations." Let's consider one more example. Michael, a teacher, was feeling stuck in his career. At a conference, he met a colleague, Sarah, who shared his passion for innovative teaching methods. They discovered they'd attended the same obscure seminar years ago and even quoted the same mentor. Their meeting led to a collaboration that transformed Michael's approach to teaching. He later said, "It was like Sarah was placed in my path to reignite my purpose." That's synchronicity, a meaningful alignment that pushes you closer to who you're meant to be. Recognizing synchronicity requires courage to trust your inner voice over your rational mind. When you feel that knowing, don't dismiss it as coincidence. Instead, explore it with curiosity. The universe is always speaking. Are you listening? So, the next time you meet someone and feel that spark of destiny, pause and ask, "Is this a sign from my unconscious? What is this connection teaching me?" Try the Synchronicity Journal to uncover the deeper meaning. Stay with us for Chapter 2, where we'll explore how your Anima or Animus draws you to the right person. Have you ever experienced a moment of synchronicity in a relationship? Share it in the comments below. We're all on this journey together. Have you ever met someone who felt like they completed a missing piece of you, as if they embodied qualities you've always admired or secretly wished you had? This powerful pull often comes from what Carl Jung called the Anima or Animus, the unconscious image of your inner ideal partner that lives within every one of us. When you feel that deep, almost magnetic connection with someone, it's not just chemistry, it's your psyche recognizing a reflection of this inner archetype. In this chapter, we'll explore how the anima and animus shape the way you connect with others, why they make you know someone is meant for you, and how to use this Jungian concept to find relationships that align with your true self. Carl Jung taught that the anima in men and animus in women represent the unconscious, complementary aspects of our psyche. The anima is the feminine archetype in a man's unconscious qualities like intuition, creativity, or emotional depth he may not fully express. The animus is the masculine archetype in a woman's unconscious traits like assertiveness, logic, or ambition. These archetypes act like an inner blueprint of your ideal partner, influencing who you're drawn to and why certain people feel destined to be in your life. When you meet someone who embodies your anima or animus, it's as if your soul recognizes them, sparking that profound sense of knowing. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet Mark, a 34-year-old accountant who's always been reserved and analytical. He prided himself on his logic, but felt something was missing in his life, a spark of creativity he'd buried long ago. At a gallery opening, he met Clara, a vibrant artist whose passion for self-expression captivated him. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, and Mark felt a pull he couldn't explain. Clara's confidence and creativity mirrored qualities he admired but rarely embraced in himself. Over time, their relationship encouraged Mark to explore his own creative side. From writing poetry to taking art classes, he later realized Clara wasn't just my partner, she was a reflection of my anima, showing me parts of myself I'd ignored. This is the power of the anima and animus. Carl Jung believed these archetypes guide us toward people who help us integrate the hidden parts of ourselves, advancing our journey of individuation, becoming whole. When you meet someone who feels meant for you, they often embody qualities that resonate with your anima or animus, awakening aspects of your psyche you've suppressed. This doesn't just apply to romantic relationships. A friend, mentor, or colleague who inspires you to grow in unexpected ways can also reflect your inner ideal, pushing you closer to your true self. But there's a catch. Carl Jung warned that projecting your anima or animus onto someone can lead to idealization, where you see them as perfect rather than human. This can create unrealistic expectations, setting you up for disappointment. The key is to recognize that the connection you feel is as much about you as it is about them. By understanding your anima or animus, you can approach these relationships with clarity, using them as opportunities for self-discovery rather than dependency. So, how can you harness the anima, animus, to recognize meaningful connections? Here's a practical technique: the inner ideal reflection. The next time you feel a strong pull toward someone, follow these 3 steps to explore what your unconscious is revealing. Describe your ideal. Write down the qualities you're drawn to in this person. Are they creative, confident, empathetic? These traits often reflect your anima for men or animus for women. Connect to yourself. Ask, do these qualities mirror something I've suppressed or want to develop in myself? For example, if you're drawn to their boldness, is there a part of you craving to be more assertive? Balance projection with reality. Reflect on whether you're idealizing them. Ask, am I seeing them as they are, or as a symbol of my inner desires? This helps you build a grounded connection. Let's see this in action. Imagine you're a woman who's always been nurturing but feels drawn to a colleague, James, who's decisive and ambitious, using the inner ideal reflection. You write, I admire James's confidence and leadership. Connecting to yourself, you realize you've suppressed your own assertiveness to please others. Instead of idealizing James, you ask, is he truly supportive? Or am I projecting my desire for strength onto him? This clarity helps you appreciate his qualities while exploring your own animus. perhaps by taking on a leadership role at work. Here's another example. Sarah, a college student, felt an instant connection with her professor, Dr. Lee, whose intellectual curiosity inspired her. Using the inner ideal reflection, she noted, "I'm drawn to Dr. Lee's wisdom and passion for learning." Reflecting, she realized these qualities mirrored her suppressed desire to pursue her academic dreams fearlessly. Instead of idolizing Dr. Lee, she used their mentorship to embrace her own animus, applying for a research program she'd hesitated to join. The connection wasn't romantic but transformative, guiding her toward her true self. Understanding your anima, or animus, helps you see why certain people feel destined to be in your life. They're not just there to complete you, they're mirrors, reflecting parts of your psyche that need attention. As Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." A true connection, whether romantic or platonic, sparks growth in both directions. But Carl Jung also cautioned against losing yourself in these projections. If you feel obsessed or overly dependent on someone, it might be a sign you're projecting your animus, without integrating it. The goal is to use these connections to grow, not to cling. By reflecting on what draws you to someone, you can embrace the qualities they awaken in you, becoming more whole in the process. So, the next time you feel that magnetic pull towards someone, pause and ask, what part of my anima or animus is this person reflecting? How can this connection help me grow? Try the inner ideal reflection to uncover the deeper meaning. Stay with us for Chapter 3, where we'll explore how individuation helps you attract the right people. Have you ever been drawn to someone who felt like your missing piece? Share your story in the comments below. We're all learning together. Have you ever wondered why you keep attracting relationships that feel draining or misaligned? No matter how hard you try to find the right person, Carl Jung believed, the answer lies in individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming your true, authentic self by integrating all parts of your psyche, including your shadow, anima, or animus. When you're on this path, you don't just stumble upon the right people, you attract them naturally because you're aligned with your own truth. In this chapter, we'll explore how individuation helps you recognize and draw in connections that honor who you are, without forcing you to betray your essence. Carl Jung's concept of individuation is about wholeness, embracing every facet of yourself, from your strengths to your flaws, your conscious desires to your unconscious fears. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming you. When you're out of touch with your true self, you might chase relationships to fill a void, seeking validation or love to feel complete. These connections often feel like a struggle because they reflect your inner disconnection. But when you're on the path of individuation, you cultivate self-love and clarity, which act like a magnet for people who resonate with your authentic energy. Whether they're romantic partners, friends, or mentors. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet Sophie, a 31-year-old marketing assistant who spent years in toxic relationships. Her partners were often critical, making her feel she had to change, to be loved, dressing differently, hiding her quirky humor, or dimming her ambitions. Each breakup left her feeling unworthy, wondering why she couldn't find the one. After a particularly painful split, Sophie began exploring Carl Jung's ideas through journaling. She realized she'd been suppressing her true self to please others, ignoring her love for travel and creative writing. As she embraced these passions, taking solo trips and joining a writing group, she grew more confident. At a travel meetup, she met Daniel, who shared her love for adventure and encouraged her to be herself. Their connection felt effortless, not because Daniel was perfect, But because Sophie had become whole enough to attract someone who valued her authenticity, she later said, "I didn't find Daniel. He found me because I finally found myself." This is individuation in action. Carl Jung believed that when you integrate your inner world, acknowledging your desires, healing your wounds, and embracing your uniqueness, you stop seeking people to fix you. Instead, you attract those who align with your true self, creating relationships built on mutual respect and growth. These connections feel destined because they reflect the harmony you've cultivated within. As Carl Jung put it, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. When you live from that place, the right people naturally enter your life, not by chance, but by resonance. So, how can you embark on individuation to attract the right connections? It starts with self-discovery and courage. You don't need to have it all figured out, but you do need to be honest with yourself about who you are and what you value. This means facing uncomfortable truths, like why you stay in relationships that don't serve you, or why you hide parts of yourself to be accepted. The more you align with your authentic self, the clearer it becomes who belongs in your life. Here's a practical technique to begin this journey: the self-alignment practice. The next time you're questioning a relationship or seeking a meaningful connection, follow these 3 steps. Identify your core values. Write down 3 to 5 values that define who you are. EREC. G. Creativity, honesty, adventure. Reflect on whether your current relationships honor these values. Explore your inner blocks. Ask, what fears or beliefs are holding me back from being my true self? For example, do you fear rejection if you show your real personality? Journal about these to uncover your shadow. Take one authentic action. Choose a small step that aligns with your values, like pursuing a passion, setting a boundary, or expressing a truth you've hidden. This builds confidence in your authentic self. Let's see this in action. Imagine you're in a friendship where you feel pressured to always agree to plans, even when you're exhausted. Using the self-alignment practice, you identify your values: authenticity, balance, and connection. Exploring your blocks, you realize you say yes out of fear of losing the friendship. Your authentic action: politely say, "I love hanging out, but I need some downtime this week. Let's plan for next weekend." This small step honors your need for balance and attracts friends who respect your boundaries. Here's another example. James, a graphic designer, felt unfulfilled in his romantic relationships, often dating people who didn't share his love for art. Using the self-alignment practice, he listed his values: creativity, curiosity, and growth. He realized he'd been hiding his artistic side to seem practical to partners. His inner block was a fear of being seen as too different. For his authentic action, he joined an art collective, where he met Lisa, who shared his passion. Their relationship blossomed because James was finally living as his true self, attracting someone who mirrored his values. Individuation isn't a quick fix, it's a lifelong process. But every step you take toward embracing your true self makes you a beacon for the right people. You stop settling for connections that demand you shrink or change, and you start recognizing those who uplift you. As the poet Rumi said, "What you seek is seeking you." When you're whole, you don't chase love, you become love, and the right connections find you. This doesn't mean every relationship will be perfect. Even the right people will challenge you, but those challenges will inspire growth, not self-betrayal. Carl Jung's Individuation teaches that the journey to true connection begins within. By becoming whole, you create space for relationships that feel like home, where you're seen, valued, and free to be yourself. So, the next time you feel stuck in a misaligned relationship, pause and ask, am I living as my true self? What step can I take to honor my values? Try the self-alignment practice to move closer to wholeness. Stay with us for Chapter 4, where we'll explore how your shadow reveals why you attract toxic relationships. What's one value you want to honor more in your life? Share it in the comments below. We're all on this journey together. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a cycle of toxic relationships? Wondering why you keep attracting people who drain you or make you feel small? Carl Jung believed these patterns aren't just bad luck, they're a reflection of your shadow, the hidden parts of your psyche you've pushed away. Like fears, insecurities, or unhealed wounds, these shadow aspects often draw you to relationships that mirror what you haven't yet faced within yourself. In this chapter, we'll explore how your shadow shapes your connections, why toxic relationships are a call to inner work, and how confronting your shadow can help you break free from harmful cycles to attract the people truly meant for you. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow includes the parts of ourselves we deny or suppress, traits we're ashamed of, emotions we avoid, or beliefs we don't want to acknowledge. Maybe it's a fear of rejection, a belief you're not worthy of love, or anger you've buried deep. When these shadow elements remain unaddressed, they unconsciously influence who you attract and how you behave in relationships. That critical partner, the friend who constantly undermines you, or the colleague who triggers your self-doubt, they're not just bad people, they're mirrors, reflecting your inner struggles back to you. Carl Jung taught that by facing your shadow, you gain the power to transform these patterns, paving the way for healthier, more aligned connections. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet James, a 29-year-old graphic designer who kept dating partners who were emotionally unavailable. Each relationship left him feeling unworthy, chasing affection that never came. Frustrated, he began exploring Carl Jung's ideas and realized his shadow held a deep fear of abandonment, rooted in childhood experiences of being overlooked. This fear unconsciously drew him to partners who reinforced his belief that he had to earn love. By journaling about his relationships, James saw the pattern and started working on his shadow, acknowledging his fear and building self-worth through therapy and creative projects. Months later, he met Emily, who was open and supportive. Their connection felt different because James had begun to heal his shadow, attracting someone who mirrored his newfound self-respect. He later said, "I stopped chasing love when I started loving myself." This is the shadow's role in relationships. Carl Jung believed that toxic dynamics often arise when your unconscious is trying to get your attention, urging you to confront what you've buried. A relationship that feels like a constant battle where you're always proving yourself or fighting for validation may reflect a shadow belief, like I'm not enough. But here's the good news: by doing the inner work, you can break these cycles. As Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Facing your shadow isn't about blaming yourself, it's about reclaiming your power to choose better. So, how can you work with your shadow to stop attracting toxic relationships? It starts with courage and self-awareness. You don't need to fix yourself overnight, but you do need to be honest about the patterns in your connections and what they reveal about your inner world. This process, part of Carl Jung's Individuation, helps you integrate your shadow, making you less likely to attract people who reinforce your unresolved wounds. Here's a practical technique: the shadow mirror exercise. The next time you feel trapped in a toxic relationship or notice a recurring pattern, follow these 3 steps. Identify the pattern. Write down the recurring issues in your relationships. For example, I keep attracting people who criticize me, or I feel ignored in friendships. Be specific about the emotions and dynamics. Trace the shadow. Ask, What does this pattern reflect about me? What fear or belief might be driving it? For instance, feeling criticized might point to a shadow belief that you're inadequate. Journal to dig deeper. Take a healing step. Choose one action to address this shadow aspect, like setting a boundary, seeking therapy, or affirming your worth daily. This shifts your energy, attracting healthier connections. Let's see this in action. Imagine you're in a romantic relationship where your partner dismisses your opinions, making you feel invisible. Using the shadow mirror exercise, you identify the pattern. My partner ignores my voice. And this keeps happening in relationships. Tracing the shadow, you realize it reflects a fear of not being valued, tied to childhood moments when your needs were overlooked. Your healing step, you start speaking up assertively, saying, "I'd like us to discuss this together. I value my perspective." This small act not only strengthens your self-worth, but also signals to your partner and future connections that you expect respect. Here's another example. Maria, a teacher, noticed her friendships often felt one-sided. She was always giving, but her friends rarely reciprocated. Using the shadow mirror exercise, she wrote, "I feel drained because I'm always the giver." Reflecting, she uncovered a shadow belief that she had to earn friendship by overgiving, rooted in a fear of being unlovable. Her healing step was to set boundaries, like declining plans when she needed rest. Over time, she attracted friends who valued mutual support, like Alex, who appreciated her without expecting constant sacrifices. Maria said, "Facing my shadow helped me stop giving my power away." Working with your shadow isn't easy. It requires vulnerability to face parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. But every step you take to acknowledge and heal these hidden aspects shifts the kind of people you attract. Instead of relationships that drain you, you draw in those who uplift and respect you. As the philosopher Nietzsche, whom Jung admired, said, "That which is done out of love always takes place beyond good and evil." Healing your shadow is an act of self-love, freeing you to connect with people who align with your true self. This process doesn't mean you'll never face challenges in relationships. Even the right people will test you. But those tests will feel like opportunities for growth, not battles to prove your worth. By confronting your shadow, you stop letting unconscious patterns dictate your connections, opening the door to relationships that feel destined because they honor who you are. So, the next time you notice a toxic pattern in a relationship, pause and ask, what is my shadow trying to show me? How can I heal this to attract better connections? Try the shadow mirror exercise to uncover and transform these patterns. Stay with us for Chapter 5, where we'll explore how trusting your intuition can guide you to true connection. Have you ever noticed a recurring pattern in your relationships? Share your story in the comments below. We're all learning together. Have you ever met someone and felt an unshakable sense of certainty, a quiet knowing in your gut that they're meant to be in your life? Maybe it's a calm warmth, a feeling of safety, or an inexplicable trust that defies logic. Carl Jung believed this is your intuition at work, a powerful inner voice from your unconscious that guides you toward true connections. Unlike fleeting emotions or overanalyzed thoughts, intuition cuts through the noise, helping you discern who aligns with your soul and who doesn't. In this final chapter, we'll explore how Jung's concept of intuition helps you recognize when someone is truly meant for you, and how to trust this inner compass to build relationships that feel like home. Carl Jung saw intuition as one of the 4 primary functions of the psyche, alongside thinking, feeling, and sensation. It's the voice of your unconscious, synthesizing insights your conscious mind might overlook. When it comes to relationships, intuition acts like a radar, picking up subtle cues about someone's energy, intentions, or alignment with your true self. That gut feeling when you meet someone special, or the nagging unease when a connection feels off, is your intuition speaking. Carl Jung emphasized that intuition is especially vital in matters of the heart, where logic alone can't capture the depth of human connection. As he wrote, intuition does not denote something contrary to reason, but something outside the province of reason. When you feel that someone is meant for you, it's often your intuition recognizing a resonance that words can't fully explain. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet Anna, a 28-year-old nurse who'd been skeptical about relationships after a string of betrayals. At a community event, she met Liam, a volunteer whose quiet kindness put her at ease. There was no grand spark, no dramatic moment, just a calm certainty that she could trust him. Despite her usual doute, Anna's gut told her to stay open. As they talked, she felt seen in a way she hadn't before, and their shared values around compassion and service deepened their bond. Over time, their friendship grew into a partnership grounded in mutual respect. Anna later reflected, "My intuition knew Liam was right for me before my mind caught up. It was like my soul recognized him." This is intuition's power in relationships. Carl Jung believed it connects you to your unconscious wisdom, which is tuned to your journey of individuation, becoming your authentic self. When you meet someone who feels destined, your intuition often picks up on their alignment with your values, energy, or purpose. Conversely, it warns you when a connection doesn't serve you, like a subtle discomfort that grows louder if ignored. The challenge is learning to trust this inner voice over the noise of fear, doubt, or societal expectations. So, how can you sharpen your intuition to recognize the right people? It starts with quieting your mind and tuning into your inner signals. Intuition thrives in stillness, not in overthinking or external pressures. By practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, you can hear your gut's guidance clearly. Whether it's a warm yes for a new connection or a quiet no for one that feels misaligned. Here's a practical technique to harness your intuition: the intuitive pause. The next time you're navigating a relationship or meeting someone new, follow these 3 steps. Create space for silence. Take a moment to pause. Breathe deeply and clear your mind. This could be a 5-minute meditation or a quiet walk before reflecting on the person. Listen to your body. Ask, how does this person make me feel? Notice physical sensations. Does your chest feel warm and open, or tight and uneasy? Your body often signals what your mind hasn't processed. Test the feeling. Imagine spending more time with this person. Does the thought bring peace, excitement, or dread? Rate the feeling on a scale of 1 to 10 to gauge your intuition's strength. Let's see this in action. Imagine you meet a potential friend, Sarah, at a networking event. She's charming, but something feels off. You feel tense around her. Using the intuitive pause, you take a quiet moment to breathe. Listening to your body, you notice a tightness in your stomach, a sign of unease. Testing the feeling, you imagine hanging out with Sarah and feel drained. Rating it a 3/10, your intuition is signaling a mismatch, prompting you to keep your distance while staying polite. This clarity saves you from a draining connection. Here's another example. David, a musician, met Rachel at a concert. Her energy felt vibrant, and he sensed an ease he couldn't explain. Using the intuitive pause, he meditated briefly and noticed a warm, open feeling in his chest when thinking of Rachel. Imagining more time with her brought excitement. Rating an 8/10. Trusting his intuition, David pursued the connection, and their shared love for music led to a deep friendship. He said, "My gut told me Rachel was special." And it was right. Trusting your intuition doesn't mean ignoring logic or red flags. It means balancing your inner voice with discernment. Carl Jung warned that intuition can be clouded by fear or desire. So it's crucial to pair it with self-awareness, a true connection. Whether romantic or platonic, feels like a quiet certainty, not a roller coaster of doubt. As the poet Rumi said, "Beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there." Intuition guides you to that field, where connections feel authentic and free. By honing your intuition, you become better at recognizing the people meant for you, not because they're perfect, but because they resonate with your soul. These relationships bring peace, mutual growth, and a sense of belonging, aligning with Carl Jung's vision of individuation. So, the next time you meet someone new or question a connection, pause and ask, what is my intuition telling me? Does this person feel like home? Try the intuitive pause to listen to your inner voice. Stay with us for our powerful outro, where we'll wrap up this journey to true connection. Have you ever trusted your intuition in a relationship? Share your story in the comments below. Let's inspire each other. You've just embarked on a transformative journey through Carl Jung's profound wisdom to uncover why you know when someone is meant for you. From recognizing the universe's signals through synchronicity to meeting your inner ideal with the Anima or Animus, to becoming whole through individuation, facing your shadow to break toxic cycles, and trusting your intuition to guide you to true connection. This isn't just about finding the right person. It's about becoming the right person for yourself. Carl Jung taught us that the relationships we attract mirror our inner world. When you align with your authentic self, the people who enter your life, whether lovers, friends, or mentors, reflect that truth, bringing peace, growth, and a sense of destiny. Think about it. That inexplicable pull toward someone, that quiet certainty in your gut, isn't just chance. It's your psyche speaking, guiding you toward connections that help you grow into who you're meant to be. Every step you take to understand your shadow, embrace your inner ideal, or trust your intuition is a step toward a life where relationships feel like home, not a battle, not a chase, but a natural flow of mutual respect and love. As Carl Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. You have the power to choose connections that transform you for the better. So, what's next? Take these lessons into your life. The next time you meet someone and feel that spark of destiny, pause and ask, is this synchronicity? Is my intuition guiding me? Am I living as my true self? Use the tools we've shared: the Synchronicity Journal, the Inner Ideal Reflection, the Self-Alignment Practice, the Shadow Mirror Exercise, and the Intuitive Pause to build relationships that honor your soul. True connection starts within, and Carl Jung's wisdom is your roadmap to finding it. Let's make this a movement. If this journey through Jung's psychology has opened your eyes to the magic of meaningful connections, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to join the Jung Psyche Hub community. We're here to dive deeper into the mysteries of the psyche, and we don't want you to miss a single insight. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. A friend searching for love, a family member seeking clarity, or anyone ready to find their true self. Like this video to spread Carl Jung's timeless wisdom to more hearts. And most importantly, drop a comment below. Have you ever felt that unshakable knowing with someone? What's one step you'll take to align with your authentic self? Your story could light the way for someone else. Thank you for joining us on this path to self-discovery and connection. The right people are out there, waiting to meet the real you. Keep listening to your inner voice. Keep growing, and keep trusting the universe's signs. Until next time, stay authentic, stay open, and stay connected to your truth.